my thing is, it needs to make sense. It's not going to be a trauma bond between us. I want you to show up exactly to who you are when I met you. Be that same person. I'm not into putting on a mask. So most relationships, why people get multiple married is because they put on different masks every relationship. So I'm not into none of that. So today the value for me is just like, it's a value for who wants it. If you really want to be a good freaking person, get married, then it can be a wonderful thing. And it can be value if you're adding value to one another. But place value upon yourself before you go take your broken self out to damage somebody else for their lifetime. Keep your stuff in your pants and keep your legs closed and go figure your life out with your damn selves before you go mess up somebody else in a marriage.
Every child I have was made with love.
So do you believe in monogamy at all?
Not for me.
No?
Nah.
So do you believe in marriage?
Not for me,
Even
but
if it's
I've
like
done
poly. I know you were married.
I think that, first of all, anybody like that, again, that's a lot of work,
Marriage?
Marriage, and then especially if you're trying to be married to multiple people, like that's so much work.
Yeah.
But I think it works for different individuals.
You don't think marriage works?
From my perspective, you got to look at it like this: marriage is for two people to become one. It's a contract. It's what you're building. When I built what I needed to build on my own, what do I need to sign a contract for? It's like if I built this skyscraper, and then I come out my skyscraper and I start looking to see the cottages, I'm like, I'm already good. Like, and it's about being equally yoked. But I get that if I would have started when I was building my skyscraper, if I had a teammate and a partner that was going to help me build this skyscraper, then I'm gonna rock with that person. This half day skyscraper, and we got memories, and this journey was amazing, and we have a lot to be grateful and thankful for because we built this skyscraper together. But I'm over here in this skyscraper by myself.
What if she also had a skyscraper and y'all built a bridge?
I only need one skyscraper.
Really? So would you be with like a successful, like a monetarily super successful woman?
At this point, no.
Do you
where I'm at, but again, because that's only because I'm looking to cultivate and protect my own peace. Where I've been in a scenario where I was married to somebody who had multiple skyscrapers way bigger than mine, and that was an amazing experience. But now,
but it didn't cultivate peace.
It did during that time, but now I'm talking about I was a different person at 28 than I am at 44.
Right.
You know what I mean? So now I'm just like, yo, I gotta balance everything that I currently have in to be like what someone else has
doesn't matter
to me. So you know what I mean? More or less.
So do you think that women that are more successful than the usual are less likely to be nurturing? Like,
no.
do you feel like you wouldn't want a woman that's monetarily successful because she's not going to bring you the things that bring you peace?
Nah, not at all.
No?
It's just that that's not what I'm seeking. I'm so complete.
Yeah.
I'm so happy and content with where I am in life that I'm not looking outside of myself for happiness. Fair. You know what I mean? But I mean, I understand why others do it. And I've had those journeys in the past before, and you're like, man, I want this and I want that. But like I've either had everything I ever wanted or currently just those type of things don't even cross my mind.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I mean, you got options though.
I do. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, my cup runneth over.
Yeah.
Like my plate is full. So
I'm going to go ahead and stop it there. I'm going to open up the panel with this question here. What makes marriage valuable today? What makes marriage valuable today?
Marriage is a spiritual covenant. The purpose of marriage, if you're a person who follows the Bible or think that the wisdom of the Bible is a blueprint for life, it's a spiritual covenant where you are made. They say that line that we're made in the image of God in Genesis 2, right? That we'll make man in our image. And so marriage is a reflection of the relationship between Christ and people, the people who follow him. The woman is the church. The man is supposed to love like God. So to somebody that would be completely secular, then I can see how they would reduce marriage to, I already got my own skyscraper. I already got my own money, so I don't need another person for me to live life through. Understand how a person who is completely monetarily focused and totally secular, I can understand how people who are godless, I can understand how people who reduce women to sexual experiences, and that's why you got to keep 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them around. I can understand exactly how a man that no longer sees women as wives or sisters or mothers or daughters, who can't see the personhood of a woman, I can completely understand how a man like that can say, you know what, I got so much money, I just rather juggle me some hoes instead of have something meaningful with another person who can see me. So there, that's that.
For the person that wants it, I think it's just a benefit to the both, to the man and the woman, if that's what you need and that's what you desire. Um, I think he hit it on the head, Nick Cannon, because it's all about you. You like marry yourself, value you, grow with you. I'm still big on that. I think that, you know how many women I meet that was married years ago and that was had multiple husbands and they are flourishing in their 50s. They are so happy at peace. They are so beyond got the God in them. You can't even understand that grace of them. So I'm sorry. I think that just like he said, it was for that moment during that time. That's where I was. I agree. I don't think it's for everybody. Shout out to the people that have been married forever. You're codependent. Shout out to your codependent ass because you need somebody. So, but for me, if I do it again, it's going to be with somebody that values themselves, that I watch him be a great father by himself, not needing no woman. But my thing is, it needs to make sense. It's not going to be a trauma bond between us. I want you to show up exactly to who you are when I met you. Be that same person. I'm not into putting on a mask. So most relationships, why people get multiple married is because they put on different masks every relationship. So I'm not into none of that. So today the value for me is just like, it's a value for who wants it. If you really want to be a good freaking person, get married, then it can be a wonderful thing. And it can be value if you're adding value to one another. But place value upon yourself before you go take your broken self out to damage somebody else for their lifetime. Keep your stuff in your pants and keep your legs closed and go figure your life out with your damn selves before you go mess up somebody else in a marriage.
I'm gonna go to you, Kia. What makes marriage valuable today, in your opinion?
So my theory is that I think that human beings are just obsessed with permanence. Um, since the beginning of time, like we've been writing down and discussing and having like philosophers like talk about what is the meaning of life. This is the reason why religions are birthed. People are obsessed with the idea of connecting themselves to something forever. So the idea to, because we know that we don't live forever, the idea of committing yourself to a cause with another person forever, it feels good. I believe this is the same reason we get tattoos. This is the same reason, like we go and we buy a home and we buy that plot of land and we say, this is the plot of land that I and generations to come are going to live on. You know what I mean? And I think marriage is no different. It's valuable because it's something permanent to something temporary. So it feels really, really good.
Go ahead, Charles. What do you think, sir? What makes marriage valuable today?
Well, before I answer, I've been married for 10 years. Me and my wife been together for 20, so I'm sure my response comes from that lens. But companionship, love, trust, understanding, forgiveness, um, self-growth, self-development, building financially. I know in my marriage, one of the things that I value is having someone there to help me better see and understand myself, right?
I always say that the external world is always reflecting back to you who it is that you truly are. So to have someone to always reflect back to me my strengths and my weaknesses is always a valuable benefit to me. And that's not to mention my kids.
All right. Go ahead, Butterfly. What makes marriage valuable today?
Um, Definitely trust. Definitely to piggyback off of the last gentleman. Trust for me. I've been married twice. Um, Obviously, and now I'm divorced, and I have a baby daddy. So my first marriage, he ended it because he couldn't really, I guess, deal with my daughter. And then the second one, I ended it because going back to the trust thing, not that he cheated, but when you have two people, so first off, I firmly believe we are not meant to be alone. But when you have two people and you grow a bond together and things are said, I think there is that certain, like I said, trust bond that's built. And when somebody decides to use things that were learned, that you shared against another person, then that's no good. Um, so it's like little things like that would, and I just wasn't about to deal with that. And I just did not foresee the rest of my life, uh, coming home and just being miserable, because now you can be with somebody at the same time and be so alone. So what's extremely valuable in a relationship is having someone there that you can just let everything go, and you trust them with everything that you have. So for me, what's extremely valuable is, again, trust, and more trust.
Thank you there, Butterfly. Go ahead, and White. What makes marriage valuable today?
Shout out to my codependent people, because I guess I'm codependent because I need my wife and she's great. I needed her to help me get these kids to sleep, to make sure she took the laundry down, to help me plan my daughter's birthday party, for that excellent sex we had this morning. What else? Oh, she ordered some fish that was super fire for me because she know I like it and she didn't have time to cook. So shout out to her. I needed her to do all those things and I appreciate you for it. You are great. I saw a movie this weekend called Together. That shit was crazy. In that movie, it was about a toxic couple who actually was trauma bonded, and they literally became one person through their trauma bond. And I feel bad for anybody that's had a relationship that resembles that, because that is very harmful. Toxic. They was literally cutting their body parts off to get away from each other, and then the trauma was molding them back together. It was disgusting, and we sat there and laughed the whole time because I was like, "Is this really what people be experiencing?" God damn, this is bad. I understand why people be mad online. If I felt like I was running into a trauma circus and in a habitual loop of just I hurt you, you hurt me, I hurt you, you hurt me, then yeah, I come on here mad too. But I just don't have that, so I'm happily codependent. So shout out to the codependent folks out there. The value is the codependency is fun and it's great and it's wonderful and I love it and I'm so happy and every day I'll be smiling. And night too, and night. Don't forget about night. But yeah.
And what makes marriage sound so pleasant? Go ahead, Dr. Lady O. What makes marriage valuable today?
Um, nothing. Nothing, because nobody's in God's order. I mean, it's basically what God wants us to do. It is in His order. I don't care if you don't believe in Him or not. It is His order that we marry, and it's legacy, is generational wealth. It's so many things that still make marriage valuable. I don't. I mean, a lot of things that I hear, it's just me. And this is the reason why the divorce rate is so high. This is the reason why people are marrying people that they don't even get along with. They're not trying to make marriage valuable because they're not marrying somebody. They're not even creating life or being with someone that they want to be with forever. They just go in it initially with this, he does this for me, or she look like this, and next thing you know, they married and don't even like each other 5 years down the road. They can't stand each other. God forbid they get a divorce, it's just over. So marriage is still valuable today because God is still valuable today. Technology has changed, had came into play, but one thing has never changed is, I know, where in White at? The hierarchy of life. That don't never go nowhere. I know you said that word. I'll be saying that. Life is always going to be God, man, woman, and child. That's never, ever going to change. I don't care what we got going on. So until we get back to the order of it, I mean, that's the value of it. The value is that's what we're supposed to do. So doesn't change.
All right. You guys can ask questions too if you do want to interject, ask somebody a question for clarification or better understanding as to what they're saying. Miss Pearl, I'm coming to you, ma'am. What makes marriage valuable today?
I think the value of marriage hasn't changed. I think the benefits are still the same. I think there are still the same social, emotional, financial, and legal benefits. I still think it provides the same level of companionship, emotional support, framework for raising a family. I still believe that married individuals are healthier, wealthier, experience greater happiness. But what I do think has changed and makes people question the institution, because it's not the institution, it's the people. I think there's a lack of understanding that what we've experienced as Black people, and I'll just take it, the women's liberation movement. I'll just leave it right there. Like, that in itself was one of the major breakdowns of our families, and deliberately and systemically changed our relationship dynamics. And I don't care how many people keep having a discussion about what we need to do. We might need to revisit that topic. Because of that, I still don't see that we're uplifting our men. I don't see cultural norms that we are supposed to have. I see a lack of spirituality. So I don't think that the institution of marriage is invaluable or lacks value. I just think we as people have changed and gotten away from it so much, and we're so disconnected from ourselves, and it makes it hard for us to connect with each other. And I pretty much am connecting what everybody else is saying, particularly Dr. Lady O. I feel like it's still, the foundation is there, but we are broken as people for many of reasons. And until we get back to the order of who we are, our divine beings, our God, and really understand what we're here for and our purpose, we're going to keep running in circles. And I just feel like now everybody feel like they're going to get on this podcast and say something that's just so compelling and prolific and change the game. Like, we're not supposed to recreate the wheel. That's why they're called foundations. That's why they're called traditions. That's why we're supposed to be rooted and grounded in that. You don't change that. There's too many of us. There's billions of people now. So again, until we get back to that foundation, we on rocky ground.